Hey there everyone, and welcome to React Native Design course. So this video is going to be long, so bear with me. I've already warned you at the very start of the video. So the goal here is to somehow make sure that our first app is up and running, and you need a decent internet connection for that because Expo will be downloading a few stuff from internet. Okay, so what I expect you by far now is you have installed the Expo app on your device. I've already done that, and here is my Expo app. I know it's really hard to see that in just the phone just like that, but bear with me. I'll provide you a solution for that, which is much more better than this showing up the phone like that. So iPhone or Android, just install the Expo app. Then the next thing is you have installed your node, and you have also got your editor and Expo as well. So first of all, let's verify that you have installed your node. So what you can do is you can just simply say node space -v. This is for giving you a version, -v for version. And as long as it just returns you any number, whether it's updated or not, it gives you a number, that's it. We are completely happy. Similarly, you should have an npm-v. It should also give you a number. And make sure it gives you a number. That's it. Whether it's the latest version or whatever, that's a verification that we have successfully installed node and we have successfully installed npm as well. Npm comes with the node, so no need to worry about that. Okay, now the next thing is Atom should be there, but we'll not be using that as of now. Okay, so the next thing that is Expo. So we need an Expo here. Make sure you have installed it. So I'm going to fire up my Expo, which is XDE, Expo XDE. This is how it's being called. If you're on the Windows, no big deal. Just launch up your start screen and grab that. You can create your account. You can register. Go ahead here, click on the register, and you can just register from here. But I will be going up with a sign in. So I have already got my account. So let me just log in with my account. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead get sign in here. Okay, so there we go. Blank sheet here. Pretty good. Okay, now we can create new project just from the Expo directly. But before that, I would like to create a new folder on my desktop. And I'm going to call this as RN. Oops, not writing anything here. So let me just rename the folder. It's, by the way, on my next screen, which is 5K. I cannot show you, but I'll open the desktop folder here in a minute. So RN design. Oops. Design X for exercise. Okay, so what I did off the screen is this guy. I just created a folder which says RN design exercise so that I can push it onto the GitHub and you can just grab all of these things. Okay, so this is here. Now the next thing that we'll be doing, and of course, just by the way, side note, you have also installed your Android Studio and also have installed Xcode as well. So make sure you have that. So just go ahead, click on this project, a very nice lightning bolt. So click on the project, click on the new project, and we want to create a new project. Now, right now we have two options, blank and tab navigation. We'll always be going with the tab. If we will be needing the tab navigation, we'll be doing and adding all these things on our own. So what I want is on my desktop, I want to just change that to something like test because this is a test project, nothing big deal. I'm going to be saving it on my desktop, RN design exercise. Open that up, and this is where I'll be saving all these things. So go ahead and click on create. Now this Expo goes on the internet and brings you up a few files from there all the time. So make sure you have a decent internet connection so that it can fetch all the files and can start as quickly as possible. Okay. Now it's starting a project and it will do some stuff. It says starting React Native package and all these things. I'll walk you through with the files and all these things as well. But right now, let me also walk you through with a couple of things. Now, having an Xcode is pretty good advantage if you're on the Mac. So let me just fire up my Xcode as well. A lot of things are going to fire up. So as long as you have an Xcode here, that's completely fine, and just have it here. And I'm going to just close that here right now because we don't need this guy. And how can I close that? There we go. Okay. And make sure you bring up your Android Studio as well. Now, there are a couple of tricks by which you can run your app in Android. Let me walk you through with the easiest one. Get yourself an Expo app in Android. Then install this plugin, which is known as Visor. Now, why I haven't told you to install this Visor app, because what it does is I can launch all these things in my app. Let me show you how these Expo things works. It works like a magic there. So let me just go ahead there. Now what I can do is I can just click on the share. It gives me a scanner, and in my app I can just open up the scanner and scan this barcode, and that's it. Your app will render directly on your phone. There might be some errors in your app, or there might be some awesome things in your app. Whatever that is, it's gonna directly. So go ahead, get yourself cable, just open that up and make sure you have that Wiser app. Notice how this is Wiser app automatically. It's a Chrome add-on, but it just opens directly everything in your app, just like that. Okay, there we go. There is my Wiser, but it loads up the ad in 10 seconds. So I'll open up my Expo and click on this scan QR code, and I'm gonna be scanning this QR code, and that's it. And within a few seconds, it is gonna load up my app. Okay, there is an ad. I can close that down. This is the only bad part about the Visor, that it loads ads so frequently. Okay, and there we go. It's saying now you can just share the app just like that. It takes a little bit while to render the project for the very first time, but after that it's so smooth, it's not going to take much of the time. Okay, so there we go. Yes, it took a little bit while to just do that, but yes, finally it says open up app.js to start working with your app. Now, one thing it reminds me that I was facing an issue just right now here is, I forgot to tell you about that, is make sure your computer on which your Expo is running and your mobile phone are actually on the same Wi-Fi. Somehow Expo works really well when all of these devices are connected to one Wi-Fi. My phone happened to be connected with other Wi-Fi, and it doesn't really work well that way. So make sure all of these devices are with the same internet connection. This is how the way Expo works. And magically, you can all the time, you can just save your application work, whatever you are doing on the Expo. Just click on the share button, scan this QR code, and that's it. And it's so much faster to work on these actual device with the Android emulator. It's so much better. You will just realize over the time that instead of having the Android device and all that, it's so much easy to work with these guys. So this was a quick solution, works with both iOS and Android. But for the iOS guys, it's actually fairly easy as compared to the Android guys. What you can do is click on this device and you can click on Open iOS Simulator or Android. But Android doesn't work like that. Let me walk you through with that process as well. I'll be just disconnecting my phone so that Visor just goes away, and we can just close this guy. Okay, now opening on the iOS simulator is pretty easy. That you should have the XCODE installed and automatically it will pop it up. My machine is a little bit faster, so it will work just insanely fast, but yours might be a little bit laggy. So by default it opened up iPhone 10, but later on you can have that. See how quickly it was, and there we go. So this is how you can make it work on an iOS. Now coming on to the Android guys, for Windows and on Mac guys who want to develop for Android. By the way, we'll be writing the same code which will be working on both the devices. So I can click quit the simulator right now. Now if you will be directly saying open up the Android, it is not going to work just like that. And see, I couldn't start the project for Android emulator. The reason is that the Android virtual device should be up and running before you click on this button. And there are a couple of ways by which you can handle the situation. Let me just give you a couple of them. First, which is always a foolproof. It always works like that. So go ahead and create yourself a new Android Studio project. Make sure you have Java installed and Android Studio, and we're going to call this as a test application on desktop or tester for just namesake. And just click on the next. Next, we don't really worry about what it's creating. Just make sure, just click next, next, and finish. Okay. All we are doing this is we want to access one thing in this. Make sure it just finishes up Gradle sync and whatever it does. And we are doing all of these things just to access the AVD, Android Virtual Device. I'll walk you through with the easier way as well. So go ahead, click on this tools, go into the Android and click on this AVD manager. So this is what all we have done. And when the next time you need it, just open this project again and get yourself at the tools and Android Virtual Device Manager. Okay. What next you have to do is create a device with the APK 23. Okay. You can see the API 23 here. How we can do that? Pretty simple. Go ahead, click here, create virtual device, and just select a phone, whatever you like, and make sure you have a Play Store settings here as well, because sometimes maybe not for this course, but maybe for later off your things, it might be easier for you, but no such need for this course. And click on the next. And what you need is a 23. Right now it's not showing as recommended, so go in the x86 images, look for the 23. It will be saying download. Go ahead, download it, and just click on the next, and it is going to design or develop a new phone for you. If somebody is already existing, just click on this play button, and it's going to run an Android virtual device for you. Now I'll walk you through with the easier process of this as well, but this is always foolproof. This always works. Okay. And now with this is up and running, you can actually minimize this or even close this guy. Or again, Expo 1 is super easy to just go through with that, but I have to cover all these things. Okay, so Android is starting. That's a good news. And there we go, super fast machine. And all now I can say is device, and I can say open on Android. Now this thing is gonna work. And for surprising reasons, there we go. It says downloading the latest Expo. It is going to do same thing for your iOS as well. It's going to download this. Mine was already there. Yours need to be downloaded. So it doesn't give you any bar or such things. So that's a bad thing. I wish they could give you some bar indication that it's being installed or installing or something like that. All you can do right now is wait for a little bit while. Luckily, I do have video editings here. Don't need to do that even. So there we go, and it asks you to permit the drawing permission, so click on OK and just give the permissions there. Just enable that, click on the back button again, and that's it. Within a few seconds it's going to build up the JavaScript library here. It takes a little bit while because the emulators are a little bit slower of the Android compared to the iOS simulators. And there we go. Finally, open up app.js, start working. So there we go. Yes, I know this video was quite long, but this is only the tough part about the React Native, setting up the things. And in case you are using the Expo, then it's just a breeze. I know these are the few things. Now let me walk you through with the easy way of opening up the Android emulator. So let me just close this guy. And some of you might be getting a heart attack there. Hey, don't close it. We might want to work quite a lot of things here. Okay, so what you can do is go on to your Finder and click on the Go, and we want to go into the library. Windows guys can also do that. Go into wherever you have installed the Android, go into the SDK, and then you want to go into the tools. And there we go. This is the guy we are looking up for. Okay, now we want to open this directory in the terminal, or known as command prompt. Windows guys, you have to do it just like CD and C drive and all of that. These guys can just drag and drop this Android guy here. And here's the neat trick. You can just remove this Android, go back your cursor here, and you can just type CD here at the start. And there we go. Now we are into this directory tools. All you have to do is write /Android. And once you're here, all you have to type is /Android and AVD for Android virtual devices. And it's going to launch up an AVD here. And within a few seconds, it's going to launch up this guy. So there we go. This is finally being launched directly. A pretty quick and easier way of doing instead of creating a project, opening it up. It's actually far more easier. And you can just launch whatever you like, or you can create whatever you like. It's exactly same. And if you click on the start, it's going to start the same thing. Just click on launch. And it's going to start an emulator. So fairly a nice trick. I like it. I use it all the time. But again, you always need to worry about the foolproof solutions. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that you are really frustrated that, hey, this is taking too much of a long time, but this is how things are done. Okay, so what I want to say in the summary is always use Expo. Expo is far more easier and better way of doing the things in React Native. And throughout this course, we will be using Expo. Okay, but just let me just quit all these things. Okay. So I'll catch you up in the next video, and we'll be running all these things on Android as well as on iOS as well. So you don't need to worry about your single code in JS is going to work through in all of the Android and iOS as well. In the next video, I'll give you a walkthrough and some of the editings and some snippets that you might want to implement in your Atom so that we can speed up the process and we just don't hang around in just writing the boilerplate code. So we'll be working on that as well. And I'll tell you some of the plugins that we can install. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, and we'll start all these things in the next video. Quite a long video, isn't it? Yes. And I'll catch you up in the next video.